War does not announce legends before they are born. It does not pause to check experience, rank, or reputation. It only tests survival. On one cold battlefield during World War II, 3 German Tiger tanks, machines designed to dominate, terrify, and annihilate, rolled forward with confidence. Each one weighed over 50 tons, armored with steel thick enough to shrug off most Allied weapons, and armed with guns that could destroy enemy tanks from miles away. Veteran crews inside those Tigers expected resistance. What they did not expect was a rookie. This soldier had never faced a Tiger tank before. No medals, no battlefield fame, no heroic reputation whispered among troops. Just a young man with shaking hands, limited ammunition, and 12 minutes that would decide whether he lived, died, or changed history forever. What happened next would leave seasoned commanders speechless. Enemy crews dead, and a battlefield littered with burning steel. This is the story of how one inexperienced soldier faced 3 of Nazi Germany's most feared weapons and destroyed them all. The battlefield itself was unremarkable, which made it even more dangerous. A muddy stretch of broken countryside, torn apart by artillery craters, shattered trees, and abandoned equipment. Smoke hung low in the air, thick enough to sting the eyes and blur distances. Visibility shifted by the second as explosions echoed from miles away. German forces were advancing aggressively, confident after weeks of success. The Tiger tanks had been deployed to break through Allied defensive lines, crushing resistance before infantry even had time to react. Their engines growled like mechanical beasts. Each vibration felt through the ground long before the tanks came into view. On the Allied side, chaos ruled. Units were under strength, communication lines were damaged, and reinforcements were hours away if they came at all. Anti-tank weapons were scarce. Ammunition was low. Morale was thinner than the smoke drifting across the field. And in the middle of this collapsing defense stood a rookie soldier. He was not supposed to be here, not yet. Barely trained, recently assigned, and lacking the combat experience that normally kept soldiers alive during tank engagements. His orders were simple: hold position, delay the enemy if possible, and retreat when overwhelmed. But war rarely follows orders. When the sound reached him, the deep, metallic thunder of Tiger tank engines, he felt fear grip his chest. Every Allied soldier knew the reputation of the Tiger. Its frontal armor could withstand most anti-tank guns. Its cannon could punch through enemy vehicles with terrifying ease. Facing even one was dangerous. Facing 3 was nearly a death sentence. His weapon was basic by comparison. No tank, no heavy artillery. Just a portable anti-tank weapon, a few rounds, and whatever cover the destroyed terrain could provide. The rookie considered running. Many would have. But behind him were wounded soldiers, supply routes, and an open corridor that would allow the German advance to continue unchecked. If the Tigers passed, dozens, maybe hundreds, would die. So he stayed. The first Tiger emerged through the smoke like a moving fortress. Its massive turret scanned the area slowly, confidently. The German crew inside believed the sector was already broken. They expected scattered infantry at most. The rookie lowered himself into a crater, heart pounding so loudly it felt like the enemy could hear it. He waited. He remembered his training, not perfectly, but enough. Tigers were nearly invulnerable from the front. The sides and rear, however, were another story. He let the tank pass. Mud shook as the steel monster rolled forward, completely unaware of the danger hiding meters away. When the tank exposed its side armor, the rookie rose just enough to aim. The first shot hit. The explosion was violent. Flames burst from the side of the Tiger as the round penetrated the thinner armor. The tank lurched to a halt, smoke pouring from its hull. Inside, chaos erupted. The engine screamed, then died. Within seconds, the crew began scrambling out, only to be cut down by nearby Allied fire. One Tiger tank was destroyed. The battlefield went silent for half a heartbeat. Then hell broke loose. The remaining 2 Tiger tanks immediately stopped. Their commanders now knew they were under serious threat. Turrets spun aggressively, scanning for the unseen attacker. Machine guns opened fire, tearing through trees, dirt, and debris. The rookie dove back into cover as bullets ripped across the crater. Dirt sprayed into his face. His hands shook, but his mind sharpened. The Tigers fired shells into suspected positions, leveling entire sections of terrain. One direct hit would erase him completely. The shock waves alone threatened to collapse his hiding place. He knew he couldn't stay still. He moved. Using the chaos, the rookie crawled through trenches and shell holes, repositioning with desperate precision. Every second mattered. The Tigers were coordinating now, covering each other's blind spots, advancing more cautiously. One of the tanks pushed forward to flank the area where the first had been destroyed. That was a mistake. The rookie waited again, breath held, counting seconds as the massive vehicle turned slightly to maneuver around wreckage. Its rear armor became visible. The second shot flew. The explosion was even more devastating than the first. The round struck the engine compartment, detonating fuel and ammunition inside the tank. The Tiger erupted in a fireball, sending pieces of armor flying into the air. The shockwave knocked the rookie backward. 2 Tigers down. The battlefield froze. Only one remained. Now fully aware it was being hunted, the last Tiger became cautious, almost fearful. It reversed, advanced, stopped, rotated its turret, fired blindly. The German crew knew something was wrong. One infantryman with a portable weapon was dismantling a weapon system designed to dominate entire fronts. Inside the Tiger, panic spread. Outside, the rookie had 1 round left. 12 minutes had nearly passed. The final Tiger refused to expose its sides. It kept its frontal armor facing all possible threats, inching forward like a wounded predator. Time stretched. Smoke thickened. Artillery thundered in the distance. The rookie realized brute force would not work, so he used deception. He threw debris, fired a rifle shot from another direction, and shifted position rapidly. The Tiger reacted, rotating its turret toward the distraction. That moment was enough. The rookie sprinted. Ignoring bullets tearing through the air, he reached a new angle, raised his weapon, and aimed at the narrowest weak point near the rear of the turret. He fired. The final Tiger exploded. Flames erupted from the turret ring as internal ammunition cooked off. The tank shuddered, then fell silent, burning fiercely against the gray battlefield. 3 Tiger tanks destroyed. 12 minutes. 1 rookie. When Allied reinforcements arrived, they found a scene that defied logic. 3 wrecked Tigers, dead German crews, and 1 exhausted soldier sitting in the mud, staring at his empty weapon. Commanders questioned him repeatedly, convinced there must have been more men involved. There weren't. The story spread quickly. Veterans shook their heads in disbelief. Enemy units altered their tactics after hearing what had happened. Morale shifted. A rookie had rewritten the rules. That battle did not end the war, but it proved something powerful. Experience matters, but courage, timing, and intelligence can change everything. History remembers generals and divisions, but sometimes history turns on one unknown soldier, with 12 minutes and the will to, stand his ground. The battlefield did not stay quiet for long. War never allows miracles to rest. Smoke still curled from the wreckage of the 3 destroyed Tiger tanks when distant engines began to rumble again. At first it sounded like thunder. Then it became unmistakable. More armor was coming. German command could not accept what had happened. 3 Tiger tanks lost in 12 minutes to what reports described as minimal resistance. They assumed a mistake. A hidden anti-tank unit. A coordinated ambush. Anything except the truth. So they sent reinforcements. The rookie was still there. His body ached. His ears rang. His weapon was empty. Victory had cost him everything he had. Ammunition, strength, and the illusion that fear disappears after survival. It doesn't. Fear stays. It changes shape. It becomes heavier. Medics tried to pull him back. Officers ordered a withdrawal to safer ground. But the rookie looked across the battlefield and understood something terrifying. If the enemy reclaimed this position, the breakthrough would succeed. The line would collapse. The earlier sacrifice would mean nothing. He refused to leave. Not because he was fearless, but because now he knew the Tigers could bleed. The Germans advanced differently this time. No reckless confidence. No open flanks. Infantry moved ahead of the tanks, sweeping the ground carefully. Artillery softened the area, pounding the terrain into dust and flame. Their plan was methodical, calculated, professional, but it was also predictable. The rookie had learned more in 12 minutes than months of training ever taught him. He knew how tanks thought. He knew how crews panicked when blind. He knew the delay between turret rotation and firing. He knew the sound of engines changing pitch before movement. Most importantly, he knew the battlefield. Somewhere in the rubble, abandoned and half-buried, lay a damaged anti-tank launcher. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't reliable. It had one usable round, maybe. The rookie dragged it into position. This was no longer about destroying tanks. It was about slowing time, buying seconds, creating confusion. Every moment mattered now. The German column approached. When the first tank reached the narrow ground between two craters, the rookie fired not at the tank, but at the earth in front of it. The explosion sent dirt, smoke, and debris into the air, blinding optics and halting movement. Infantry scattered. The tank stopped. Confusion returned. And confusion on a battlefield is lethal. The rookie moved constantly. He fired rifle shots from different positions, triggered small explosions, collapsed terrain paths, and vanished before return fire could lock on. To the Germans, it felt like a ghost unit, everywhere and nowhere. They slowed again. Every delay allowed Allied artillery to recalibrate. Every pause gave friendly units time to regroup. The advance lost momentum. One tank turned back, then another. German command finally realized the truth too late. This sector was cursed. A shell landed close, too close. The blast threw the rookie against broken stone. Pain exploded through his side. Blood soaked his uniform. For a moment, the world went silent. This is where most stories end. But not this one. He stood up anyway. Not to fight, but to signal. With a flare raised high, he marked the enemy position clearly for the first time. Allied artillery responded instantly. The sky fell. When the smoke cleared, the German assault was gone. Tanks destroyed or withdrawn. Infantry scattered. The line held. The rookie collapsed. This time he did not stand back up. He survived, but barely. Weeks in recovery. Months before he could walk without pain. His story spread further than before, but now it carried weight. He wasn't just a tank killer. He was the reason an entire sector didn't fall. Commanders stopped calling him lucky. They started calling him dangerous. Legends are not celebrated on the battlefield. They are hunted. After the failed German counterattack, something shifted. Orders changed. Recon planes circled lower. Artillery strikes became precise. The enemy patrols searched ruins that had already been searched twice before. This was no longer about territory. It was about eliminating one man. The rookie's name had reached German command. Recovery was slow. Pain followed him like a shadow. Every breath reminded him of how close he had come to dying. Doctors told him he was lucky. Officers told him he was valuable. Soldiers whispered his story with a mix of awe and fear, but none of them felt what he felt at night. When the guns fell silent, the explosions returned inside his head. Burning tanks, screaming metal, faces he never saw clearly but could never forget. 12 minutes that replayed endlessly, each time slightly worse, and yet when orders came, he did not refuse. He returned to the line. German forces adapted fast. Snipers were deployed specifically to kill lone operators. Armored units moved only with infantry screens. False retreats were used to lure defenders into open ground. They wanted him exposed. They wanted proof that the ghost soldier could bleed like anyone else. And they nearly succeeded. Ambush at dawn. The attack came at dawn, when exhaustion was deepest and visibility most deceptive. Fog hugged the ground. Sound traveled strangely. The rookie moved through ruins he thought he knew. A single shot cracked the air. The bullet missed his head by inches. He dove behind cover as machine gun fire erupted from 3 directions. Mortars followed, walking closer with each impact. This was no accident. This was a trap designed for one target. Him. Pinned down, wounded again. Low on ammunition. The rookie faced a truth soldiers rarely admit. Escape was unlikely. Behind him was a communications relay. If destroyed, artillery support across the sector would go silent. Ahead of him was enemy fire. Above him, time running out. He made a decision that would define him forever. He stayed. Not to win, but to delay. For nearly 20 minutes he fought alone. Firing, relocating, collapsing rubble, triggering secondary explosions. Every move was pain. Every breath burned. Blood soaked into the dirt beneath him. German forces hesitated again. They remembered the Tigers. They slowed, and that hesitation saved lives. Eventually, numbers win. A blast tore through the wall beside him. Shrapnel ripped into his leg. He fell hard, vision fading, weapon sliding from his hand. German soldiers closed in cautiously, expecting resistance even now. But the battlefield was quiet. The ghost was still. What the enemy found. They expected a monster. They found a young man, mud-covered, bleeding, barely conscious. No elite unit. No special armor. No secret advantage. Allied command believed him dead. Morale dropped. Rumors spread. The man who had held the line was gone. Heroes don't choose when they become symbols, and symbols don't get to rest. He survived the impossible. He stopped steel with courage. He held a line with nothing left to give, and now behind enemy lines, wounded and alone, his greatest battle was about to begin. Because war doesn't end when the fighting stops. Sometimes, that's when it truly starts.